Okay, so in this particular video, video number 6, we're going to talk about creating applications for mobile phones, both the iPhone and the Droid. Now, before you create anything, I want to mention a few things. You kind of want to brainstorm what your application is going to be about, and there are several different types of applications. So the first thing you want to do is you want to ask yourself, who is your audience? I think that's pretty self-explanatory if you're running a business, but that's something that you want to think of. Who is your audience? What are their needs? And will they benefit from, consistent news that relates to your business or to that industry that appears in their phone, or would it benefit them by you going out and creating, a specific application that fits their needs? So you got to ask yourself, because most of the time, if you have an application that communicates them with consistent news, that's probably good enough. But if you want to go all out and you want to create an application, let's say an organizer or a journal or a specific thing that will help them, you can do that too. And I'm going to show you two different ways. There are two different ways to go about creating applications. The first one, you can do it yourself by using a site like isites.us, and I'll show you that in just a minute. Or the second way is if you want to customize that application and make it, into something that isites.us does not provide, then you can do that. But you're going to have to hire somebody to do that. And I'll show you how to do that. Okay, so right now we're looking at isites.us. This site allows you to create mobile applications for the platforms for iPhones and Androids. Now, as you can see, with using sites like this, you're going to get an application that's pretty standard and pretty templated, so that it's not going to be like super unique compared to other applications. However, at the same time, that does not mean that you're not going to get a lot out of this application. Now, with this application here, you can do a lot. You can customize it extremely well. But let's say that you want to create an application that this site does not provide. If that's the case, then you are going to need to hire an application designer or programmer, and you're going to have to customize that application yourself. So to do that, what you want to do is you want to figure out, like I showed you earlier, what does the audience want? What is it specifically? What would be a good application for them to have? Once you have an idea of what kind of application is good to have, then you're going to have to do some research, and then you're going to have to create, a project report. And this is where you're going to need to hire a individual programmer. You can use sites like odesk.com, but I would actually recommend that you use sites like scriptlance.com, just because Scriptlance is filled with programmers that really know what they're doing. Not to say that odesk.com does not, but from my experience, I found that, Scriptlance has a lot more programmers. So let's say I go to the search box here and I search for iPhone. You'll notice that when I do that, you see a ton of projects, which is a good sign. Now, if I go to odesk.com and I do a search for iPhone, what I'm doing basically right now is showing you that, you can go about finding iPhone apps, developers, and stuff like that. And I will say this, the less complicated it is, the better. I mean, when you create an iPhone app, it can run anywhere from $500 to $1,000 or more. But there are some upsides. And there's downsides to both sides. Like for example, isites.com, if you notice here, if you develop an application, it's going to charge you like a monthly fee. $9 to $49 and things like that. And the reason why they charge a monthly fee is for support and monetization with ads. So you could monetize your applications with ads. Perhaps that relate to the ad. So you could sell ad space, things like that. But you think about it, $49 times 12 is ultimately well over 400 or $500 already. So let's say 2 years later, that's $1,000. So in terms of long term, you know, it would probably best to develop something here. But if you develop something through Odesk or Scriptplant, so you got to keep in mind that you're gonna have a lot more to develop and things like that. But with this is already up and running, and this might already benefit your business already because it's already pre-made. Because you can add content, you can change the design, you can monetize it, you can customize it, you can add buzz and things like that. So this is definitely not a bad site because it already provides you an application that you can customize it to your own needs. But I just wanted to show you this and these two sites that show you that there are two options out there that you can use.